Hi, it's Paul. This lymph node, FNA, is from a 49-year-old male, and he had an atypical right neck node on ultrasound examination. This is the air-dried smears. Quite cellular, as you can see, quite a dispersed population. Even at this power, I think I can see that the cells have a reasonable amount of cytoplasm, perhaps more than you'd expect for lymphoma or lymphoid cells. I can also see some dark staining cells and some elongate cells present. We've got binucleation in some of the cells, and they do seem to be pretty dispersed, so I can't, in this field at least, see any cohesive groups of cells. Most of them have a plasmacytoid configuration, so a nucleus eccentrically placed in an oval-shaped cell. Here's a nice binucleate cell. It's got large nuclei peripherally arranged in the cell, and the NC ratio is not terribly high. The cytoplasm is a little bit sort of granular, kind of in between, isn't it? A gland cell and a squamous cell. More binucleate cells apparent, and more cells that have cytoplasmic pigment, I think, as well, staining blue-black there. Quite a lot of them around, and there is a bit of variation in nuclear size. You can see some larger ones mixed up with smaller ones. So this area of the slide is looking a little bit different. The cells are clustered together a bit more, but when we look on higher power, they really don't seem to be cohesive in the sense that they're not forming a straight community border. They're just sort of loosely aggregated. Again, we've got a bit of dusting of cytoplasm. Here is the pap stain smears, and it's a pretty dispersed looking population of cells that have moderate amount of cytoplasm, quite hyperchromatic nuclei. Bit high power, we can see more binucleation and a bit of an indistinct border to the cytoplasm. Here's a large cell which has an interesting feature. This is an intranuclear cytoplasmic inclusion. So these are invaginations of the cytoplasm into the nucleus. There's another large one present there. And notice how there's some really quite large, bizarre nuclei here, and quite coarse chromatin that's irregularly distributed. Here's an area with some good pigmentation. So on the pap stain, this is staining quite brown to black. And in this area, there's quite a mix of pigmented cells. So some of them have quite a lot, some of them a small amount. So we've got a dispersed arrangement of cells with maybe some loose sort of groups. Most of the cells have a plasmacytoid appearance with a nucleus that varies in size, mostly round. They have quite coarse, irregular chromatin. Binucleation is quite common, and there is definitely cytoplasmic pigment in some of the cells. We also notice bug-eyed demons, so those binuclear cells with the peripheral nuclei, and intranuclear cytoplasmic inclusions. Again, missing from this case was really prominent single central nucleoli, which are often a feature, but I didn't particularly notice in this case. So this is all really in keeping with metastatic melanoma. We would process a cell block and look for negative cytokeratin staining and positive staining for pan-melanoma, HMB45, maybe S100 and melan A, just to confirm that